try to get you what you need. So try and write the stuff down. To find the inverse of an equation, they're going to have to be 3 equations and 3 pictures. I'm going to show you the equations first, the pictures second, and then boom, let you go at it, and then I'll let that be that for today. As we're coming near the very end. Week 2 we're in. Week 3 we try and wrap it up. Week 4, make sure if anything is left over, basically just turning something in. So I don't want any testing or whatever in that last Tuesday in week 4. In any case, here's the deal. Step 1, to find the inverse, we're going to switch the x and the y. That's no big deal. Once we switch the x and the y, we're going to solve for the y. So every time your first example, then you get to do the second one. Step 1, I'm just going to switch that red y with the x. So write that down, write that down. It's true in the other class I have to write it step by step with them. So that first move, nice and easy. This is why this particular handout, most of you are going to do pretty good right away. The only thing I'll make it tricky is that they're going to do 3 different types of the equation and 3 different types of the pictures. And so some of you that will throw you. Step 1, switch it. Step 2, I'm going to solve for y. To solve for y, the reminder is just if you are on the example we gave yesterday, if you're on not a sinking ship, but a sinking boat, there's some things you have to get rid of first. Some things you get rid of last. So if there's luggage and stuff that's further away from you, you're going to get rid of that 6. You're going to throw that overboard first.
You
I didn't hear you.
People you don't like.
Right. If you don't ride with her. And then second, the things that are closest to you. So if you're doing people like Anna said, your cousins who are a little bit further away from you, you get rid of them first. And then your brother or sister, and then you get rid of them second. Well, what is he even talking about? Step 1. If we're solving for y, what's the first thing we'll do for those who are good with solving?
You add both sides.
You're going to add 6 to both sides. So I'm going to have everybody do that. Well, let me do this line right here first. Set standard, add 6 to both sides. Now, in these inverse equations, nothing is disappearing. Basically, we're just going to shift everything that's on the side with the red y to the side with the x. And we use the actual steps. So that next line looks something like that. And then, of course, someone different than Jose on this next question, to get rid of that 3 that's being multiplied by the y, what's the inverse?
Divide it.
There you divide it. So inverse is just where you just do the opposite stuff. Just adding, you subtract it, subtracting, you add, and so on. So that next line, let's see, should look like this. For the first time you do them, I invite you to show all the steps. So write down the step that's on the board. I invite you to show those. That way, if something goes wrong, it'll be there. Now, there won't be a final answer like, say, y equals 2 or anything like that. The final answer is just going to be y and all that other stuff that went on the other side. That will remain in the box. Here is the inverse. So yeah, so inverses, not a big deal. You're not solving an equation in a sense that we normally write with y equals a number. Y is going to equal all the same things that were in the original, but now pushed to the other side. Inverse. Find the inverse.
What's the point of this?
They use it in other stuff, but for us, step 1 is like, hey, can you find the inverse of it? So it's kind of, it's just math in the old sense, which they try to get away from. Like, you know how we did the cow problem?
Yeah.
You had the equation, but it actually meant something. Well, they're going back to where it was just, can they find the inverse?
It's just like extra stuff.
For most math, yeah.
Necessary and like,
Because
I'm never gonna need this.
I also reported
Yeah, you won't. I went to the market last night. I didn't even use the inverse. This one is on your own. Pretend you're taking the test. Write down the instruction, find the inverse.
Where are you right now?
And yeah, wherever you can create space right there. Yeah, and that first page, there may, I wrote some on the first page in the other class, so. But if you need to turn on the back of your paper, you can turn on the back. Oh, unless there's something on the back. All right, so try and do this one, This one I'm going to come around and check mark. Let's do it like a test. Yes, it looks almost exactly alike, which is maybe not a good thing to do in math, because then your brain doesn't have to do that much. So create some space on your paper. If anyone needs any extra scratch, no, let's keep it on these. Do show the steps. The idea is if something is missing, I can see, oh, I see. they didn't, as opposed to like, what's this final answer? In a moment I'll come around and put a check mark. Let me get a green highlighter. Today I'm just trying to give you the easy stuff as much as possible. I guess I could pause this for Sam. I'll say for the video. Step 1 to get the inverse. Step 1, switch the x and the y. Step 2, start solving for that y by doing what to the 7?
Subtracting it.
Subtract that 7. And again, it gets connected with that x. So be careful with that. Next step, what are we doing with the 4? What's the inverse of multiplying 4?
Divide it.
Dividing that 4 on both sides. And oddly enough, even though the steps are just old-fashioned math, follow the steps to get the right answer. That's what you have. If you need to make any adjustments on yours, do that right now. So again, on page 22, C 30, change the d of x to the letter y. Once you do that, let's see if I can. 22.
No, it's just the papers.
So what you want to do is go ahead and change, just like on the board, the, I'm going to give you here, the d of x, change it to a y, and then see if you can do the same, see if you can find the inverse of that. This is page, where I'm at, page 22. Page 22, and we're looking at C, the second part. All right, let's take a look and see what we have here. The rules that you wrote down earlier, and you may have to write them on someone else's paper. Step 1, we have to switch the x and the y. Most of you did that part, so I'm proud of you on that. Good work on that. Step 2, I saw this part too. What do we do to get rid of the 10?
You subtract it.
Subtract the 10 when you're on a ship and you're drowning or it's going down. You gotta get rid of the stuff furthest away from you first. When we saw the line, then the stuff closest. This part, everybody, I expect you to have this part. The x minus 10, because that part looks exactly like what we just did a moment ago. What do we do now to get rid of that 4? Brenda is right. We're going to divide that 4. Oh, shoot. What am I going to do here? Let me do something really fast. All right, I saw this on Jose's paper as well.
Was I right?
Take a look and see where you are. See how it connects to yours. Help you fill your bucket. Now, here's the part that some people expect that people get stuck on. What is the inverse or the reverse of radical y?
But I had that, and you said it was wrong, so I don't.
Yeah, you're right. You do square it. To square it, you put parentheses on both sides. And that's kind of what I mentioned to Jose. His last step. The radical is one of the few things that can be really tricky. And when you square it, just like Jeremy said, it cancels out the green 2 and the black radical sign. They cancel out. They undo each other. And then the left side, do you have to square it or multiply it or do anything? No. Once you get everybody onto one side where the y is alone, then you win the game. Let me move something. Oh, okay.
I'm very upset with you, Thomas.
Can they see that? What did it say?
I particularly asked you if I was right by saying that the opposite of the radical was a square, and you said.
If I do this one, and then F and I'll do this one so you can hear it. Step 1, you switch the x and the y.
Can you add by both sides? Do you always add by both sides? Or
You do the inverse, you do the opposite. So step 1, I need to get rid of the 12 because he subtract 12, you do plus 12 because if he was add 12, then you do minus 12. So step 1, I'm going to add that 12 to both sides. I saw this on a lot of pages, so good work out there. Step 2, how am I getting rid of that radical? I saw it out there. Say it.
I got mine.
Just like Jeremy said. You're gonna square that thing. Now I saw this. Some people left their answers this. This is not the final answer. Put those away, please. Put those away, please. These are not the final answers. You have to actually take it out. Final answer. You got there.
Can you not think, please?
Take a look at it. See, X and Y. We're gonna switch it just like Jeremy said.
There's a water fountain.
Switch it through. Switch it through. This one from Unit 4. When there's an exponent in the air that we need to get it down like a balloon, we need to tie something to it. What is it that we tie to it? Yeah, we tie the log. And this part, though, let me erase and write this in. I want to erase so that you know that the log that you write first is right on the side with. It's right on the side with the Y. And so when you write in log here, the rule, Brenda, is just to write it twice, right on both sides. Okay. Once you have it on both sides, that Y, now you have to bring that guy down. Now I'm putting in all the steps, and I want you to do the same. That way, if your final answer happens to come out wrong, at least I can see, oh, okay, they're doing the logs, okay, they know they're doing, oh, then whatever that last piece is that you missed. So do write it down, especially on these, because you know it's going to wind up being a fraction, so then you can see what that final fraction is going to wind up being. So write down these steps, write down these steps. Someone who can see it even without having written it. What is that final fraction going to be on the left side? Okay, they don't see it. To get,
All three.
I don't remember any of this.
to get y alone, because we're multiplying by log x, we're going to divide that same log 3 on both sides. The right side is going to cancel away, and you're just going to be left with all right, that last move. Okay. Take a look at it. See if there's something that happened there. Hey, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? How did you do this? Because in second match, you do something similar. So take a quick look at it. Do yours. The y equals 10 to the power of x. Same moves. Find the inverse of that. Find the inverse. This is the third and the final of the
As soon as no.
Is that what you see? Okay, someone's watching the video. The instructions are find inverse. No, I don't let me have it. Find the inverse. The moves are, go to page 10. Let's see what we find on page 10. Page 10. Oh, you gotta write down some information. Page 10, the steps. So there we go. Page 10, here's what you need to start writing. So you have the steps there. First, we're going to call this section B. The first stuff that we're doing, we call that section C. So write down section B. Once you do that, this is page 10. Oh, we used up, oh, that's what happened. Oh, this is going to be a mess. All right, so, oh, page 10. Now I was looking at somebody else's. Page 10, please underline the word inverse. In the other class, we did section B first, which is why it's kind of slightly out of order, but I'm still going to go with it. Write down the word reverse. Whenever you hear the word inverse, it just means reverse it. What's an example of an inverse? If you were at home, getting ready for school, you put on your socks first, then you put on your shoes. That's the regular direction that you would do it in. Anna does differently, I'm sure. Then, when it's time to get home and take things off, you take off the shoes first and the socks second. In other words, when you do the inverse, you just reverse the order that you did things in. What are you writing down? The steps that we'll need. So that each time we do 3 examples, we'll know exactly what we're going to do. Step 1, find the inverse of the graph is a question that you're going to be asked to do. They're going to give you a picture, a line, a swoop, something, and then say, hey, give me the inverse of that. So you're going to write down each one of these steps. What is step 1? You're going to find the line of symmetry. You're going to draw that. The line of symmetry has an equation. So that's what you're writing down here. When you see this y equals x, That's the name of the line of symmetry. So you're going to write that down. Everything you see on the board, you're going to write it down.
OG.
The next one, I'm going to announce, even though you're writing it, it's going to be, you're going to have to write two tables. Table 1.
I'm about
Because, yeah, you're just visiting. So,
yeah.
Table 1 of the original points. You'll need 3 of those. So that's what this first line is that you're going to write. Table 1. And I'm going to show you how to do it, so it won't be really tricky or whatever. I just want you to have it. So, table 1 of the original points. How many do you need? You need 3. Sometimes they're easier to find on the actual test. It'll be a little bit harder to find, but hopefully I'll help you. Next, you're going to switch dots and graph. Switch dots and graph. And I'll show you what that means. That will be called your table 2. So write that down, write that down.
They won't let me drop it. I tried.
Drop one.
Alright.
Sorry, hello.
The last 2 things that you're going to write down, and I already started it, even though it's cut from the old problem, will be table 1 to table 2. So again, hearing it all up front, it's like, whoa, but when we do it, it's like, oh, that's easy. Oh, that's easy. That's the last step? Okay. All easy. Alright. Anybody still writing? Anybody still writing?
Okay.
Alright, take a look. Let's see, there are 4 dots, 5 dots. How many of us are in here? No, still not enough for all of us. Let's do it by side of the room. Let's do Ephraim's side with Jacob and Anna. Please tell me what the point is for this dot right here.
0,3.
0,3. Write that in, please. Write that in. On this side, let me give him a chance to write, then we'll get another. There we go. Jeremy Brenda's side. Eric or Jose. What is the coordinates of this second point?
I need 1, 2, 4.
2, 4. He said Eric or Jose. He said that whole side. All right. Do me a favor, everybody put in the coordinates of this third one, please. Put in the coordinates of the third one. You only need 3. And the way you know, on this picture, they make it obvious. They make the dot really big. On the performance task, they're not going to make it really big. So what you have to look for is this. Where does it hit a corner? All right, what do we got on the last one? This one, either side.
Oh.
Coordinates of this last one?
Wait.
You
Do
should
you want me to say it?
Anyway, I can say it.
It's, well, let me count. It's 8, something.
Somebody help her. 7. There you go. There's step. Oh shoot! I did step 2. Oh, I didn't do step 1. Damn. All right. So let me back up.
Not that bad.
No. I'll still go this way. That way I don't have to mess it up. Step 1. You got those 3. Now put it into the table form. So make an XY table and put in the dots you have. 0,3. I wish I would have done it in blue. Put in the second one. What was the second one? It was a, oh, thank you, 2,4. And that last one, now I'm writing over my words just because I don't have space. You guys write it where you have space. 8,7? Yeah. All right. So far, nobody should be confused. Step 1, go to the original dots, write what it is. Step 2, put it into the blue, and here comes the trick before the end. You're going to reverse the numbers. Just write them in a different order to get the table that shows the inverse. So to get the inverse, you just reverse. So can someone tell me?
3,0.
Thank you. Someone different. Yeah, you can begin. All right, 4,2. And that last one. Yeah, so like I said, finding the inverse of a graph is pretty simple. It's just the words they use. But once you know the steps, it's there. The only bad part about that is much like Hannah said earlier, is, okay, now that I did it, okay, what is it that I'm actually doing? It goes back to geometry. Basically, we're going to reflect this line over a line of symmetry. We're going to make a mirror image over a line of symmetry. The question is, Well, what is that line of symmetry? And that's the part I should have given you at the very beginning. The equation y equals x always produces this line.
Yeah.
Now, oh, they need rulers. Let me get your ruler. It gives you a dot at the origin, and if you go over 1 and up 1, it gives you your second dot. We're going to connect those dots, and that will produce our lines as best as possible. Put in this line, simply a dotted line. Mine I'm making red so it can be obvious. Some people like to make it also go down. It's not completely required to go down, but if you want to go down, notice what it does. Draw this line, draw this line. It slices, again. I would try to make it dotted so it doesn't completely look the line there, but if dotted is too hard to do as is, because I'm going to know that the line of symmetry is always that diagonal line. So with your ruler, try and draw that line of symmetry. And make sure the person next to you, don't look out just for yourself. The actual line of symmetry will be graphing these green points. In other words, I'm going to put in 3, 0, 3, 0. What's the next one I'm going to put in? So I just graphed the 3, 0. So I'm going to graph 4, 2, 4, 1, 2. And what's that last one? 7, 8. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. There's a lot of writing on here. Now, for those of you who will be able to see this, really, what has happened here is the dots above the red line are going to be the same distance away from the red line, but below. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. Above and below. The second one was 4, 2. And then the last one, you'll see here, this 8, 7. His partner is right above the red line. So an inverse is basically, hey, if you draw a red line and put the dots the same distance away from that red line, you are writing the inverse.
Wow.
This is a baby picture. The next picture you get is going to be ugly. So you're going to have to be careful to step 1, or a beautiful monkey. That's going to be a beautiful monkey. Make sure that when you put in your first table, 3 dots is what you need, but the next picture, you probably would be better to put in an extra 2. Reverse them. You have to draw the line of symmetry. Normally you draw it first. I did it after because I forgot to draw it first. Oh, I didn't connect my dots. My bad. Yes, please.
Why do you keep doing
Say again?
nothing? I'm just disappointed.
All right. So my blue line is the actual line of symmetry. So again, we did put in the dots, but we didn't connect them. We do need to connect the dots. All right. Pause. Hey, the red line is called the line of symmetry. So for this one, do me a favor. Y equals x. And this line is called line of Please write that down. And the other person write down there. The blue line, make sure you write down that's the inverse. That way we can start with my table. Hey, do this. I should have probably even said it. Maybe if you went in order, the coordinates would have helped out. All right, let's see what we get here. Someone help me with this top coordinate up here. What is he? I know some of you already have it, some of you. Someone say it really fast.
What?
Top coordinate up here, this guy.
That one is -4, 6.
-4, 6. Next guy down. He's a negative somebody.
He's a -3, 3.
Oh, -3, 3. The last guy at the bottom.
He is a -2, 6.
-2, -6. Check your coordinates against mine because they'll mess up your picture if it's off. The next guy in line, and notice how we're just wrapping right around. What's the next guy? And you still there or no?
Sorry.
What's my next
-1,
one?
-3.
-1, comma, -3. And this right up here,
0,6.
0,6. Take a look at your coordinates. Make sure you have the right coordinates. Yeah. Jeremy, you try to re-put those guys in and see if they did something different. -4 and a 6. A -3 and a -3. -2 and a -6. Who's a partner over there? -1 and a +3.
Huh?
And a 0 and a 6.
And
So here's the deal. When it's time to put them in, I saw your papers. You all did very good on your line of symmetry, because this all was the same. So that's why you're going to get on. But here's the deal. When you put in your points, oh, I didn't reverse it yet. Let me reverse mine.
No, I got it.
6 and a -4. -3 and a -3. Notice that one did not change, even though, well, it changed, but it stayed the same. A -6 and a -2. A 3 and a -1. 60. 60 is the last one.
Yeah.
All right. Here it comes. Here comes with a picture. A 6 and a -4. 6. -4. 3 and a 3. -3. Where are you? -3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. He's right on top of the old guy. -6 and a 2. -6 and a -2. This is the picture. Part of the picture I saw on Jose's, which wasn't. It didn't finish, but the fact that I saw these three connected let me know. Okay, it's in the right direction. So again, the picture is going to be lying down. Let's see if I can get the other coordinates. A 3 and a 1. 3.
-1.
-1. And the last guy?
6, 0.
6.
You want
0.
I dare.
No.
6, 0. 6. -4 for those who need the coordinates. When you connect the dots on these, again,
Should I?
I'm going to have us just choose, just to do start the table. I'm not going to have us graph it. Start the table and put in the,
That's just a mess now.
Good job, Ezra. You did it right.
alright, and so over here, you're right, that guy's supposed to be negative. Questions, where did I put
Good
it?
job, Efren. You're all
-3. Oh, it kind of makes sense. -3.
Challenge. That's what it's talking.
I was wondering why this thing was getting like,
Look,
all
look,
like,
look.
Yeah, that's all.
it's kind of bent or whatever. But now it kind of makes
I didn't
sense.
do anything. I just let it go.
Challenge.
I'm trying to stop playing, making big.
All right, so we made a correction there.
You need to stop.
But you can see how the table would work. Because all the other things are right, if someone made that mistake, I'd be able to say, I can still give you the points because I can tell most of your stuff is off, you just messed up a little place. And that's why showing the two tables is important. All right, what did I want to write on page 5? All right, as quickly as you can, because this part isn't going to be super deep or anything. I'm just going to throw it out there. The main part of the quiz that we do are the 3 pictures, the 3 equations. At least let me get it on your paper, and then we'll go from there. So write this down. Write this down on page 5. Let me see what I can do. Where. Let me write down.
Just anywhere?
Yeah, create your space so that you have space. All right, on page 5, this is section 8. This is it. From here, I'm going to hand out the papers to you. Papers you'll have about maybe 15 minutes to work on, but you can see.
What time is it? Oh.
Let me see what can happen in 7 minutes. Let me see what can happen in 7 minutes. Write this down. Section A. Section A. There are 3 sections that we went over today: B, C, and now A. Change, transform equations. On your handout, they're going to say to you something similar to, hey, would you please transform the equation? All they mean is just change some numbers. We're going to tell you to change. I want you to change this, I want you to change that. But they're not going to say change, because math, they don't want it to be easy like that. They want it to be, please transform. Here's one of the equations they're going to ask you to transform, to change. There are only 2 pieces you can change. They can tell you to change the first piece, change the second piece, if you know the name of it. And for this reason, I want to throw this one in, even if you don't have time to get to it when you're working on the bigger ones, at least you will have heard it so that when we need to fix things, you will have it. So they'll give you a problem like this one for those who've written it down. y equals 4x minus 7. What is the slope in this problem? F4 is there, not even supposed to be able to see that. Whoa, how did I do that? Whoa, how did I do that? Okay, whoa, I didn't want to do that.
Oh, leave that color. That color's
Alright,
pretty.
here's the problem.
I'll change it.
Okay, and now it won't
Jose,
go
why
away.
are you so negative?
Alright, here you go. Come on, go.
No, I'm
Right there.
positive. I don't want that.
Alright, here it goes. Hey, the 7 in this problem, the negative 7. What is that in this problem? Anybody knows from old school? The 7, negative 7 has a name, negative 7.
I think it's your turn.
Dang. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh.
Yeah.
Aww.
Make it red blood.
What the heck? Alright, there it goes. I'm using my time on that. Alright, write down the way they're going to ask you the question. Oh, shoot, I'm down to 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I got to give it to you. So you got at least 20 minutes to work on
But
it.
you talk a lot.
I know. I'm trying to go for it. Write down transform equation. So slope is 5
Yeah, I didn't have enough space.
and y-intercept
What was it?
is negative 8.
Yes.
Write that down. That's the way they're going to ask the question. What does that mean? Could you please change the slope from what it was to the new number? And would you please change the y-intercept to the new number?
Is there no math?
No math involved.
That's
Are you serious? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, please tell me it's
The
gonna be on the
key,
test.
the key to this, this is gonna be, they're gonna throw in 2 just like guineas.
Yay.
But the big deal on this one is the word transform. That's what they're trying to get you to do.
That's light work.
It's from geometry. To transform it actually means wherever the picture was on there, you have to move it up or down, left or right.
I do that in less than
All right. Let's see if you got the right answer. Let's see what they got. Oh, did I write it down? I didn't write it down.
That's like me hitting the wall.
Somebody say out loud. Y equals what number, please?
5.
5x. And what's gonna be at the end? Minus 8.
Negative.
No, just subtract the 8.
All right, there it is. We just transformed it. We just transformed it. One more. Here it comes. This one is a little bit harder because you got to know where it is.
You are.
Last one. I can speak this in 4 minutes. We're going to transform this one as well. Again, math really is about vocabulary. That's why even with all the vocabulary stuff, most of the stuff isn't hard. It's like, I don't even know what you're asking me to do, transform it. Like what do you change it? Just change the numbers. Please write this one down.
Is that something equals number 1?
This one's going to be a little tricky, though, because I'm not going to tell you where part of it is.
Thomas, can you say though? Can you not say dough?
I'll do my best. Though. All right. Write down this equation here. Write down the instruction really fast. Transform the equation so that the y-intercept is 2. That's a trick problem, and if you think it's really easy, chances are you're probably going to miss it. But go ahead, go with it anyway.
That's mean.
Go with it anyway.
I don't know.
I did in the other class, and they're like, oh, Frank.
Plus
My hint, if you want a hint, will be the equation y equals something raised to the x power.
Yeah.
There are 2 numbers in the middle, not just 1.
Ah.
So it may not solve anything. Some of you are like, okay, so. No, let's try and guess what the answer is. Try and guess what the answer is. Why guess? Your brain is most ready to learn right after it's guessed something. Try something. I was like, okay, did I get it right? Now, if you just wait to write it down, your brain doesn't engage. Just go like, all right, 2. But if you try, it's like, it does that. 2 minutes. Let's see what you wrote down. Someone say what the answer was to this guy.
I don't know.
Why?
Oh, my bad.
Y equals
okay,
18.
Y
That's supposed to be y
Y
equals
equals 2 times 9x.
No,
Y
Y equals
equals
18.
2
Times
times 9.
New parentheses.
All right, I'll put a 2 here, and then I'll put a 9x.
Was that right?
This is in fact the
Y
correct
equals
answer.
18.
Why is this the correct answer? Because
That's right.
the A is always the y-intercept. Now, of course, if you didn't know that, that's fine. This part, though, I do want you to write down, because if you don't have this part down here, you won't have it. You got a minute. Write it. Y equals A dx. Y equals A dx. Like, why is that important? If they tell me to change a part of it, but I don't know what part you're asking me to change, how much is the answer right on this one?
What?
This one's fast, this one's fast.
Two colors, huh?
The A is always the minor seven.
I mean, I assume,
All right.
like, I was like, two colors.
Take a minute, take a final look at